Oh hi. Fortaleza, the city in Brazil, the capital of the state of Ceará. Fifth largest city of Brazil. Mesoregion component agglomeration Fortaleza. There is in structure of large city agglomeration and agglomeration Fortaleza. Enters the economical and statistical microregion Fortaleza. The name of the city is connected with the Dutch fort existing from the middle of the 17th century Schonenberg. To Dokulombova an era the territory was inhabited by Indian tribes in a stupor, being engaged in hunting and primitive agriculture. Europeans for the first time landed here on February 2, 1500. It was the Spanish expedition of Vicente Pinzon who called the coast of Santa Maria de la Consolacion. It's at this moment the tortoisely esque contract differentiating spheres of influence of Spain and Portugal and carrying these longitudes to a sphere of influence of Portugal already worked. This opening was never officially recognized. Colonization there began Portugal when Pedro Coelho de Sousa constructed Santiago's fort in the mouth of the river the Tiara in 1603. For a short time the northeast coast of Brazil was occupied by Dutches who based a Fort Schonenberg here, and Portuguese after return renamed them into Fortaleza de Nossa Senhora de Assunção. In 1799 the province of Ceará was allocated from the province of Pernambuco, and Fortaleza became her capital. From August to November 1824 the city was a part of the Equatorial Confederation, the unrecognized state trying to separate from the Brazilian Empire. The revolt was to press Brazilian troops. In the 19th century Fortaleza developed as the center of the province which was generally specializing in cotton cultivation. In 1812 in the city the customs was created. In the next years in Fortaleza not only there are new industrial enterprises, but also institutions of education and culture, such as schools, seminary. 1864. And public library. 1867. In 1870 construction of the railroad which became the beginning of a system of public transport in Fortaleza begins. On March 25, 1884 in the province of Ceará slaves were released. Growth of the city in the 20th century was generally connected with resettlement of inhabitants of rural areas to the cities. By the end of the 1910th years Fortaleza becomes the 7th in population city of Brazil. In 1954 the first university was founded here. In 1950th and 1960th the city increases in size, there are new areas. By the end of the 70th years Fortaleza becomes the center of large industrial agglomeration. During dictatorial board to Umber Castile Branco, the native of Fortaleza. In the 1970th years here for the first time in Brazil the woman, Maria Louise Vildine was elected the mayor, and the city became the first, managed by the left-wing party. In the 1990s Fortaleza becomes one of the main tourist centers of Brazil. Fortaleza is located in the northeast of Brazil, on the coast of the Atlantic Ocean, in the natural region Caatinga. On the protected sites of the coast in the neighborhood of the city mangroves remained. Fortaleza is characterized by typical tropical savanna climate, with high temperature during the whole year and two seasons, dry and rainy. The heat is usually softened with wind from the ocean. The warmest months, December and January, a rainy season. Winter, from January to July. During the colonial period, the population of Fortaleza made about 2,000 people. For the first time, it significantly increased between 1865 and 1872. That was connected with construction of the railroad. In 1877, the drought led to Massachusetts' resettlement of the population to the cities. Droughts repeated 1888, 1900, 1915, 1932 and 1942 that led every time to jump of population. And three last cases in rural areas around the city. Concentration camps were constructed to reduce inflow of refugees to the city. In 1922, the population of Fortaleza reached 100,000 people after absorption of the neighboring cities of Massachusetts and Parangup. According to the Brazilian Institute of Geography and Statistics, the population of the city in 2013 made 2.55 million people, agglomerations more than 3.6 million. The third and sixth place over the country respectively. Racial structure of the population. White -36.8%. Pardo -57.5%. Blacks -4.5%. Asians -1.4%. About 80% of citizens, Catholics, 13% Protestants, 6% atheists. The crime rate is high, that is typical for the large cities of Brazil. Fortaleza is one of the main destinations in Brazil. Generally, guests are attracted by bright nightlife, ocean beaches, numerous boutiques and shopping centers, exhibitions and conferences. The Sea Reserve Park Estádio Marinho de Pedra de Risca do Mio in the neighborhood of the city, the wonderful place for diving. From industries in the city, there are production of footwear and clothes, especially products from skin, a food industry and pharmaceutics, oil processing. In nearby territories, mining is conducted. Banco do Nordeste, which headquarters is placed in Fortaleza, is the financial institution of regional development and microcredit, largest in South America. The gross internal product in 2005 made $19,734,557. O, income per capita -8309 $. 2005. The city is served by the international airport Pint Martins, IATA, for ICA, SBS, with a passenger turnover of 6 million people a year. 2012. Regular passenger flights are performed to all main cities of Brazil and also to Milan, Amsterdam, Sal, Frankfurt am Main, Praia, Miami and Lisbon. In Fortaleza, the federal highway BRI-116 going through the whole country begins. Fortaleza, Porto Alegre. The basis of public transport is made by buses. In 2012, the Fortaleza subway, 2 lines, 28 stations, 43 kilometers, is open. In total, 5 lines of the subway are planned. Construction of the third line, 14 stations, is conducted now. In Fortaleza several universities, both private and state, including the State University Ceará, are located. Training at schools and the universities, as well as everywhere in Brazil, is conducted in Portuguese, but studying of the English and Spanish languages is included into the program of high school. Since the end of the 19th century, Fortaleza is the considerable cultural center. Institute Ceará, founded in 1887, conducts researches in the field of history, geography and anthropology. The Literary Academy, founded in 1894, became the first institution such in Brazil. In the city there are a lot of various cultural centers. In 1994 the TV series of Tropicanque, which action happens mainly in Fortaleza, was removed. This series ran the city administration into money, but won the hearts of millions of people, especially from Russia and the CIS countries. Fortaleza is well known for the folklore coming from mix of beliefs of white colonialists and natives. Also Syrian, Lebanese and African traditions are important. Examples: Bob Mamuboy. It is known also as Fight Ceará. The songs and dances connected with a religious cult of a bull, with the Portuguese roots. Torin. Dance. And musical representations of public and critical orientation typical for the northeast of Brazil. Maracatu. The dance and music executed during a carnival. Dance due to the cook. Dance characteristic of black Brazilians. On the coast it is executed only by men, in the depth of the province couple. Well-known buildings. Railway station of João Felipe. José de Alencar's Theatre. Beacon to Muricipa. Cathedral of Fortaleza. Iracemá's statue. Fort of the Assumption of the Mother of God. Palacio de Luz. Sport. In the city the football club Ceará, oldest in the state, and the football club Fortaleza, acting in the Brazilian Series A, are based. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.